All right, for this one, we're heading way off the beaten path, deep into the Pacific Ocean, to explore one of the most mysterious and, frankly, mind-boggling places on Earth, the ancient stone city of Nan Madol.
Wow, just take a second to look at these ruins. This whole place is built on a coral reef. Its original name in Pohnpei was Sun Nan Lang, which means reef of heaven. And you can see why, right? It's beautiful, but it's also wrapped in this deep, fascinating mystery.
And that mystery really boils down to this. In this incredibly remote spot, who managed to build a massive city on 92 separate artificial islands? And I think more importantly, how on earth did they do it? Let's dive in and see if we can figure this out.
To really get a handle on Nan Madol, you first have to understand its incredible structure. It's so unique that it's earned a very fitting nickname.
Okay, so check this out. The first thing you notice is this isn't a city built on land at all. It's a whole network of man-made islands, all connected by canals. You can see right away why people started calling it the Venice of the Pacific. Even its name, Nan Madol, actually means within the intervals, which is a perfect description for those canals crisscrossing everywhere.
And the scale is it's staggering. We're talking about the city's core being made of 92 of these artificial islands. 92. Each one built up with stone and coral to serve as a platform for homes, for tombs, for all sorts of ceremonial sites.
And here's what's so crucial to understand. This was not just some village. Nan Madol was the capital. It was the political and ceremonial heart of the Saudeleur dynasty, a really powerful line of rulers, and they decided to build their center of power on one of the most difficult foundations you can imagine, a coral reef.
Now, when you have an achievement this monumental, this almost impossible looking, you just know there are going to be some powerful legends to explain how it all came to be.
And the Pohnpeian legend does not disappoint. The story goes the twin sorcerers, Olisipa and Olasohopa, just paddled up in a canoe one day, and, get this, they supposedly used magic and a flying dragon to levitate these enormous basalt stones and just float them into place. It's an incredible story, and it really tells you just how awe-inspiring this place has always been.
But, as cool as flying dragons are, the real story, the one archaeologists have uncovered, is in some ways even more impressive. It's a tale of very real human ambition and power.
The science tells a pretty clear story. Radiocarbon dating shows the heavy-duty construction started around 1180 AD. For the next 400 years, this was the capital of that Saudeleur dynasty, until their rule was toppled by an invader named Isokelekel right around 1628.
And Nan Madol was an incredible instrument of control. It wasn't just a fancy home for the elites, it was a strategy. The Saudeleurs made potential rival chiefs from all over the island, which had a population of about 25,000, live in the city right there under their noses. It was a pretty brilliant way to keep everyone in line.
So this brings us right back to that big question, how? Forget the magic and the dragons for a minute. The real story is one of spectacular human engineering and just an unbelievable amount of labor.
This is so cool. You can see the raw material next to the finished product. The builders used these long columns of basalt rock, which actually form naturally like that. They'd quarry these massive, heavy stone logs and then stack them in this crisscross pattern to build these enormous walls, some of them reaching up to 25 feet high.
Just try to wrap your head around what this actually took. First, you have to go cut these giant columns of rock out of a volcano. Then, you have to figure out how to transport them all the way from the other side of the main island. And only then can you start the work of building the actual island platforms on the reef before you can even think about putting up the buildings. The logistics are just mind-boggling. And here is the absolute kicker. For all its grandeur, Nan Madol had a fatal flaw. There was no fresh water and no way to grow food. Everything, every drop of water, every piece of fruit, every fish for its 1,000 or so residents had to be brought in by boat from the main island every single day. Just living there was a huge logistical challenge.
So it probably won't surprise you that a place this incredible has attracted its fair share of modern myths and some, let's say, alternative theories.
You've basically got two sides here. On the one hand, you have theories you might see on TV or in books claiming Nan Madol is a leftover piece of a lost continent like Mu or Lemuria, or that it's tens of thousands of years old. And on the other hand, you have the scientific consensus. The archaeology, the dating, the oral history, it all confirms that it was built by the ancestors of modern Pohnpeians, starting around the 12th century. And for many experts and for the Pohnpeian people, this isn't just some fun academic argument. They find these wild, pseudoscientific claims to be, and this is a direct quote, incredibly insulting to the ancestors of the Pohnpeian islanders. They see these theories as being rooted in an old-fashioned, frankly racist idea that indigenous people couldn't possibly have accomplished something so amazing on their own.
Which kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. The true story of Nan Madol, a story of power, of mind-blowing ingenuity, and just raw human effort against all odds, is already breathtaking. So you have to wonder, when the real history is this incredible, do we even need to invent new myths?